Oh. Supremo.
Would you believe me if I told you that the best pork ribs marinade goes like this? Hi everyone, and welcome back to Argentine Asado. My name is Jason, and today I'm going to show you one of the best Argentine pork rib marinades. Stay with me for this exotic, awesome, extremely tasty recipe, and let me know in the comments if you think I was missing anything in the recipe, or are there any improvements to this traditional, authentic Argentine recipe. So the recipe goes like this: black pepper, honey, ginger, salt, lemon, and most importantly, mustard seeds. So this crazy powerful marinade is going to give us an exceptional tasting piece of pork. So stay with me for this video and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Okay, so step one is you need to go down to the store, to your butcher's, and buy around a 3 kilo rack of pork ribs. Now here in Argentina we have a thing called pechito con manda, which means ribs with the flank. So it's a section of ribs with a section of flank. And I'll show you this right now as I prepare the meat. So step one, obviously make sure it's at room temperature, and then start massaging in some olive oil or maybe some lemon juice with some olive oil. I've just used olive oil at this stage. And then we are gonna get our mustard seeds, we're gonna get our pepper, and we are gonna get our salt and start to rub that in. Once we're done with that, we are gonna start with ginger. We're gonna get that ginger on top of the salt and pepper and mustard. And it's really important that you don't go overboard with the ginger because it's very intrusive, and I love ginger because it's super zesty, but don't go overboard, just sprinkle it lightly, and I'll show you that as well as I go through those steps. And then lastly, we're gonna add our honey and just a little bit, if you want, of paprika or sweet chili. This is gonna give it just a bit of color. It's not actually gonna do a lot of taste because you've already got lemon, ginger, and so many strong tastes. So here goes. So once you've added your salt, pepper, and mustard, it should look something like this. And because I ground the salt and pepper before, you obviously get this really consistent spread of evenness between the salt and the pepper. Okay, so I've added now salt, pepper, mustard seeds. And remember, I've pre-grinded these before they go on the meat. So they're really well integrated, and it's really consistent. So now all I've done is added my ginger, and I added a sprinkle of paprika just to give it some color. And I haven't gone overboard with that. So now I'm gonna flip it around, do the same on the fat side. This is obviously the rib side. And then once I'm done, I'm gonna leave that to rest in a bit of honey and lemon juice. Okay, so now you wanna squeeze a bunch of lemons without it going in your eye, and make sure you don't get any pips. You don't want any pips in the juice when you're going to marinate. And if you want, you can add a little bit of stock to the lemon juice so it's not so intense. Personally, I'm not going to add any stock. I'm just going to add a little bit of warm water with the lemon juice, and then we're going to let it rest in this container for 2 hours before we put it in our wood burning pizza oven. Now bear in mind, I had left this at room temperature, and I will continue to leave it at room temperature. Don't put this bad boy back in the fridge. Don't do that. You want it to go into the wood oven or your oven or on the grill when it is at room temperature, and it has been marinating for at least 2 hours. Guys, don't rush this process, and the more time you leave it marinating, the better it's going to taste, the better those flavors are going to be. You could leave it up to 6 hours. Nothing's going to happen to the meat. I mean, unless there is a major bacterial outbreak, I'm sure your meat is going to be fine if you leave it just for a couple of hours. Make sure it's covered. There's no flies, no mosquitoes, nothing bothering it, and it's going to do great. Okay, this wasn't meant to happen, but I put the honey in the microwave and it imploded, it exploded. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and then we are just gonna put the honey on top of the meat, and then we're just gonna let it rest for around 2 hours before we put it in the oven. So it's gonna go in the oven rib side down. And after having this spillage with the honey, I'm gonna put the honey on top. And remember, you probably wanna cover it, because if the honey is on top of the meat and you don't cover it, it's probably gonna burn, and that's not going to end up very well. So rib side down, the meat should be pointing upwards, and leave it for about 2 hours rest, let it rest, and then get it into that hot oven for around 2 hours and 20 minutes before it's gonna be absolutely zesty, great flavor, packed with character. And hopefully it's very moist because you've added either your stock with some lemon juice, or you've added some water, or even white wine. We did another test with white wine the other day and it came out fantastic. So while you wait for the best pork marinade in the world, drink some mate, turn on the TV, light a fire. So I actually need to go and get some wood for my pizza wood oven. So I'm going to go and chop some wood while the TV plays on its own, and I'm going to prepare the fire. And once that wood oven is really hot at around 200 degrees Celsius, that is when we're going to put in the meat. And I'm just going to let it rest for at least 2 hours before it goes in, because you really want that marinade to, you know, really bond with the skin, with the membrane, with the membrane around the rib section. And that's what's going to make it so tasty, so delicious, so juicy, and so moist. So, okay, after resting for 2 hours and 30 minutes, you can see how the paprika start to take color on the membrane and the fat. And this is just going to be great. So we're going to put our pechito con manda, which is the rib section, the pork rib section with a bit of flank underneath. We're going to put it in our oven for around 2 hours and 15 minutes. And at around 200 Celsius, and then we're going to come back and we're going to take it out, and it should be absolutely delicious. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. After 2 hours and 15 minutes, our pork ribs are coming out of the oven. Let's go.
Arrasano súper increíble, Jason. Oh. Supremo.
Okay, guys. Here goes.
Enjoy.
Perfect.
Buenísimo.
Perfect.